Welcome to Pray First Virtual Church. I'm glad you could join us today. I have an extra special guest, my homie, my friend, my cousin Nell, Tiana. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Look, if y'all knew what we had to go through just to get the Zoom working, oh my God. But she's all the way in Florida. How's everything in Florida for you?
Everything's good. I got this sunny weather.
I know. I'm jealous. I'm not here in a hoodie, so it is what it is, But yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. As you know, this month, what we're covering is finances and giving, and really want to focus on finances. We got a whole series lined up for you with direct deposit. So last week we talked about giving and tithing. This month we're talking about budgeting and debt cancellation. Pretty soon we're talking about insurance, real estate, and a whole bunch of other things on every Wednesday at 6:30. But today we're talking about budgeting and debt management. And I could have taken nobody else better to bring in the Tatiana, because you know everything.
I don't know everything.
Not everything. Everything. You know everything. And when I mean you know everything, I celebrate you, because with most people talking about how they begin like the new Jordans online, or they got StockX, and they bought something enormous. No, like, I just bought off my debt. Like, I just canceled my debt. I'm paying Sally Mae back, like, I'm excited. So when I hear that, I'm like, I'm with it. So that's why I brought you in, because I feel like you're an expert. I know nobody else who is a real person with real kids, with a real husband, with real money management, like, and saving money, real money every day. Like, so I'm gonna bring you in. And we have a personal affinity for the money principles of Dave Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
Although we want to cancel Dave Ramsey plan as well, because he got some iffy ways.
Yeah.
But his money management works, and his principles work. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and hop into it, because we only do this for about 30 minutes. So the first question I have for you is, tell me about your expertise in budgeting.
I wouldn't say that I'm an expertise per se. I'm maybe intermediate. Not an expert. It's trial and error, really. So in order for me to start my budget, like when I started from the beginning, I didn't know where to start. So what I did was, for the first month, we just spent regularly, used our card and everything, and then saw what we used. Like, okay, for this month, we spent $500 on groceries, and then it was like $100 for entertainment. So then that's when I started to write it down. I'm old school, so I wrote it down. I have a little budget book, and my husband, he likes electronic stuff. So we got two different budgets going on, but they both say the same thing. So I have an Excel spreadsheet, and I also have a paper budget, and I just wrote in the lines like what we used for that month, and then adjusted it. So it wasn't until like month 4 of doing it that we really got it down to a science, because okay, we spent $500 on groceries, but is there a way we can bring the groceries down, or we could cancel out cable or something like that? So it took me about 4 or 5 months to get my budget down packed. Now I could do it in my sleep now. So, wow. And I have the whole year done, like the whole year. So, because I pretty much know how much we're going to get paid as salary. So I have January 2021 to December 2021 finished.
I'm sorry, I'm shocked, because look, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to spend a day, and you talking about you got it down to the year. No.
Yeah.
That's
so I
crazy.
can guesstimate what I'm going to pay off.
So you learned this principle from Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace, for the most part?
For the most part, yeah. He doesn't really he tells you to budget, and kind of like, this is how you budget type thing. I couldn't really get it from his book. it was somebody that I followed on Instagram who also does his principles that I really got the Excel, because she has a YouTube and she showed you like step by step on how the Excel spreadsheet is legit, is bomb.
Can you shout her out so we can know who to follow? Because I need to know.
Debt Free and Sunny CA.
Okay, Debt Free and Sunny CA. All right, so you got that down pack. I'll put you on the spot on that. I'm sorry, but look, I need help. We all need help. So everybody who's watching this, get your pen and paper out, because you got to write this stuff down.
She was on Good Morning America too.
What? Okay. Yep. So we get some information. So we got the guru, then we got the expertise, and then there's me down here somewhere underneath. So I guess my next question is, you told me your expertise. You kind of like, you practice it. Well, you learned it, you practice it. Now you're, I want to say, an expert. So how did you, with Dave Ramsey principle, one of the first thing he tells you to do, right, is to get an emergency fund of $1,000. How did you begin that process of saving that $1,000?
So yeah, that's if you're like married, it's $1,000, and if you're single, it's like $500. And then if you make more than a certain amount, we do $1,000. Sometimes it's a little bit more in there, but the base amount is $1,000. And I was selling stuff. We don't need that, so we don't need that. So
right. And then what Dave Ramsey says, he says,
sell until the baby thinks they next.
Make the kids think they're about to get sold next. Yeah.
So we sold stuff, and we also adjust our budget. Majority of it came from adjusting the budget, really, because we cut a lot of things out, and then I'm a couponer too. So I had slacked on couponing groceries, and then I was like, nah, we going back to couponing groceries. Yep. So I cut the grocery bill in half, couponing on groceries, so that also put money back in our pocket. It didn't took maybe a month, to get $1,000. And then we just went on to babysit too. I was ready.
But this thing, you say it took you a month, which to save $1,000, but you're not like filthy rich type. Like
I'm not. No,
you work a regular job. Like
the money is there. Yeah, the money is in your budget. If you look, the money is there. There's a lot of things we got subscriptions for. We cancel a couple of subscriptions. Like, subscriptions okay to have, but $10 add up, okay?
Sure do.
And especially if you're not really using it or you don't really need it, like, cut it. And we cut
share passwords. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Look,
okay,
Netflix doesn't pay any taxes. I'm not about to look. I'm gonna share.
I use my daddy Netflix, okay?
Right.
I won't get Disney Plus because I don't feel like paying $50 a month.
Right. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So you say you're a couponer as well, right? So
So I get stuff for like 50 cents, $2.
Hold on, what are you getting for 50 cents, $2?
Food and basic necessities. Like let's say, what did I get the other day? I just got, those, I don't know if you ever heard of Incognomitos, but it's this new plant-based thing. They're $6 in the store. For it's like this big, and it's like chicken nuggets, but it's plant-based because everybody's trying to go plant-based now. $6.
Yeah.
I just bought it, and the Ibotta app just paid me. I bought two, so the Ibotta app paid me $5, and then there was a coupon attached to it, and then I used $2 for the coupon, so I only paid $1 for that bag.
Okay, so you just said I bought an app. Like
Ibotta.
We know what it is. What is
so Ibotta? That's another thing to get money. Ibotta is an app where you download it, and then you go to the store, do your regular grocery shopping, and you go to the app and you search and see what did you buy. Like, some people buy a lot of name brand things like Lay's and stuff like that. So you just click on it, say, oh, I bought that. With Walmart, all you gotta do is scan the barcode. But like other stores like Sam's Club, Publix, Kroger, you take a picture of the receipt. It verifies that you did buy it, and then you get that money back. So you get paid to shop.
First
Yeah.
of all, no. First of all, what I'm not gonna do is let you slide right now. I mean, you said second grade, and this is the first time you're telling me about this. We're gonna have a conversation about this after
there's another app called Fetch Rewards where some people don't like Ibotta because you gotta actually go and click and see what you bought. But with Fetch Rewards, it's any receipt. So if you go to the gas station, I ask for receipts all the time. Gas station, I pick receipts up off the floor because you get gift cards. You get gift cards to like Amazon, Walmart, Applebee's. Like, so you get those gift cards and you could give them for gifts or put it towards your groceries and you just take a picture of it. So I literally get paid to shop every day. All the time. I check all my apps all the time. Like, okay, can I get this? Oh, all right.
I'm both happy for you and mad at you for not telling me this till now.
There's so many apps that you can get paid for. That's another way we actually had got the $1,000. There's so many apps. And there's apps where there's a Dosh app, you just pay. You can't use debit though. You have to say that you're using credit, where you don't have to type in your PIN. And then it's just like I forget sometimes and the link just pops up and goes, "Thank you for spending money at Pizza Hut." And I'm like, oh, I did have that link. And they give you like $2-3 back for buying food, buying your clothes. I just got money back for Beyonce's Ivy Park.
Got your Adidas, got your stripes. All right, I
did. That was budgeted. But yeah,
that's not bad. So you saved $1,000. You mentioned that you was saving on groceries. I even noticed that you even bought like shoes one time at like Ross or TJ Maxx or something like that for like pretty much essentially free.
Oh, that you talking about recently, January? Oh yeah. If I could show you all my stuff, but yes, I got a whole like recently. So every year Ross has their markdowns because they're trying to get ready, and it's usually in January. And every day a different department is marked down. So the cheapest is 25 cents. So I go in every single time. You have to go early, not too early, not when they first start, because that's when they start doing it. Maybe like an hour or two after. I got like 4 bags of clothes like each day and spent like $20-$25 every day I went in. It was like 4 bags of stuff.
That's what you see. This is why she said I'm not an expertise, but somehow she getting 25-cent clothes. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about.
And I just got those Nikes those Nike tactical boots that go for like $90, $120. I bought them for $3 and sold them for $85.
And that's all. The next thing was it said not only most people get probably is like, oh well, how's she a budgeting expert? She's talking about consuming, but she's not. You're not only a consumer, but you're a producer because you also have your own Etsy page. You also sell other stuff, so you make T-shirts. You make T-shirts similar to the shirts.
I made this.
Make the right. It's like, look, all you need is a screen print and some T-shirts and some time, and you can sell T-shirts online. And so you've done that, and you use that as a means to make more money. And so incredible. So we talked about the expertise that you deny. We talked about how you saved $1,000. Now, you also mentioned that you went to the store for one of your apps, and instead of using debit, you use credit. So how do you feel about credit cards, and how's that job with Dave Ramsey principles about that? Because he says, cut them all up.
No me gusta. So I agree with him on that. Cut them all up. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, you're using credit because you don't have the money for it. So that means you can't. Why are you getting? You can't afford it. Just because you can pay the monthly doesn't mean that you can afford it. Because if you could afford it, you would have just bought it outright. So, and it's different when you actually save for something that you want. You appreciate it more when you actually save it. And actually, spending money is emotional. So swiping your card is a lot. I don't like swiping my card a lot. I use cash a lot, cash envelopes. So when you release that money, it's kind of a little sting. So I rather use cash and debit than credit. So, and I know a lot of people saying, but what about when you got to buy a house? And blah, 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 blah. There are other ways to buy a house.
Facts. We're going to talk about that later on in a few more weeks for our real estate credit stuff.
So I won't get into that. Let you go ahead and do that. But there are other ways to get a house. So yeah, no, I aspire for my credit to actually drop, not go higher. So because the higher your credit score is, the more debt that you have.
Yep.
So I don't.
That's right. I'm good on that. The credit score is pretty much based off how much debt you have, how long you held it for, and that's how they calculate it. And here's the other jig that I heard about. America is like the only place in the world that has.
I know. I found that out too, and I was like, "What?"
Yep. You ain't got no credit scores in England and Australia and Africa. I said, I gotta get out of here. This set you up to fail.
They work for what they have and they spend. America is just too fast. They want it now.
Yeah.
So.
So thank you for teaching us how not to be so much of a consumer, but also producing as well. And so, so you feel like credit cards are good. Cut them up, get rid of them, and pay off the debts. And speaking of paying off the debts, we keep saying it's Dave Ramsey, but we won't call it Tatiana Principle because Dave Ramsey's a little hot water right now.
Yeah,
but so give me the Tatiana Principles of how you pay off your debts. What's your methods and how did you pay off yours?
So they have a avalanche method where you pay highest to lowest or highest interest rate to lowest. Then they have the debt snowball. I use the debt snowball because it's more satisfaction that way. So I started with the smallest, and my smallest was like $45. Kid you not? I started with the smallest and then went up. And while I was doing it, there was one point because kids ain't cheap. My second child, everything wasn't covered. But by the time we went to go pay for it, they was like, "Oh yeah, the hospital paid for it." Hallelujah. That got skipped. But yeah, I started from smallest to highest because of the satisfaction. Because once you pay off that little bit, you're like, yes. And then like say it was $50 a month for that bill. I just acted like I didn't pay that off and just added the other $50 to whatever the next bill was. So it's $50 a month for this bill, and that's $80 a month. So now I'm paying $130 a month on that bill. So I just keep building up and put more on it. So like we just paid off my car. So 2 weeks ago.
I gotta feel good. That feels so good. I gotta clap for you right now.
Now I need my gap insurance. That too. So, a lot of people don't know that you can get your refund back on your gap insurance if you pay early, if you pay car off early.
Keep talking these facts. Drama knowledge and gems. I hope everybody's catching this because y'all playing. Y'all don't know.
I need my little refund.
Yeah. So, and you talking about the SlowMo Bad Method, and I'm gonna reiterate that because that's starting with your smallest debts and paying them off, and then using the next amount.
To
pay it off. So let's say you said I can pay you off $25 a month on this this $50 debt. So 25. I paid off 50. Now that I've got that, I go to my next debt, maybe 125, and pay that off. And it's satisfactory because you're knocking off debt. You're knocking
everything down.
The interest rate. You're caring about
no interest. I don't care about the interest. The lowest one, and then visual. Like I have a board, and I write all the debts, and then every time I cross it out or I erase it, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's getting lower. There are some people in the debt-free community. There is a debt-free community on Instagram. They like
shout it out, please, because I need to know.
hashtag debt-free community. The family is real. Like they'll be rooting for you. They don't know you from Adam, but it's a real family out there. But they have like charts. There's these free debt-free charts where you can color and like say one block is $100 for you, whatever the block is. You color it and go all the way up. There's people who have change, those link chains you make with paper around their house, and like they cut it off and got the kids involved and everything.
That's so cool. Because the principle is that is slavery. Like the Bible says, oh no man, nothing but the level. And I was like, all I'm gonna do is love you. I'm gonna love you, Sally Mae, because I ain't got it. So look, you gotta break off the chains of slavery and debt, because whoever owns your debt owns you. You can't move like you want to. And so
right now, Navy ain't owe me, but
yeah, it's okay. We working on it. So my other question is, how much have you paid off so far? I'm pretty sure you got the number, pretty close to you.
What's funny is I have a whole Excel spreadsheet on how much that we pay off, and I hadn't updated it in a while until you asked me to do this.
Okay.
And I was like, I paid off that much. We paid off $40,000 since 2018. So it's been a while. And that's with a break. We paused for like 7 months.
You said 40,000. How long did it take?
2018. So this year we only paid off. So technically it's 2018 and 2020, because this year we only paid off my car, and that was like $2,200. So yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I'm trying to do, and the thing is, when you, as somebody who's doing it, you feel like you're not doing enough. Mm-hmm. So to me, I was like, man, I could have paid off more than that, but I still have to celebrate on where I came from, because that's what $1,000.
Right, because it's not just $40,000, because you know how money works and compound interest. So if you had a $24.99 interest rate on a credit card,
exactly,
that's a lot of money. That could have been $60,000 easily. Mm-hmm. Easily. So you save money, and now
oh my God, the credit cards are the worst. Now that you said that, 24, my husband had like a $3,000 credit card, and his interest rate was 24.99%.
That's the highest it could go.
Do you want to know how hard that was? We would be rolling off doing a step snowball, pay off so much, and all of a sudden it's back up like $200. That's the worst. That's why I don't like credit cards.
And they act like they're doing you a favor. They send you some mail and it's like, we're giving you $2,000. Here, take this credit card. We get the back of the site. And for $0 down, 0 APR, whatever it is, the little interest rates. And for the first 6 months, and then they're gonna hit you with $24.99 in compound interest.
And let's not forget the yearly fee thing they got.
Come on. So you're breaking it down. So we realize debt is horrible. It's trash. If we try to cancel anything, we talk about cancel culture, cancel debt, because it sucks. So you say you budget pretty much everything. You save $1,000. You're not doing credit cards. You're paying off your debts. How do you handle birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, stuff like that? What do you do with that?
So we do budget everything. However, there are lines in our budget for our sinking funds. Sinking funds is basically a fancy name for a saving account. Okay. So we have a school fund, a car sinking fund. We have what's the other one? No, my mind's going a blank. But we have a school fund, a car fund, and then also one for like entertainment. And that includes birthdays. Mm-hmm. So that we don't have to budget it all the time. Christmas, that's the one. We have Christmas too.
You got to do Christmas.
We save for Christmas all year round, because everybody knows the same date.
It's gonna come around every year. It's surprise.
And then birthdays is, so we got kids, and I like to splurge on birthdays. My husband says I'm expensive. So we have
you're generous. You're generous.
Exactly. I like that word. I'm gonna use that next time you say that.
Sorry.
So we have those accounts. The car fund is like maintenance. So we don't take that out of the emergency fund. It's not an emergency. You got a car. Your oil change is gonna come. You might break down. You might need a tire. That's not an emergency. Yeah. So we have, it's basically a vehicle maintenance fund, and that is actually not a savings account. It's a checking account, because with savings accounts, how you can't transfer 6 times a month. Yeah. So it's much easier to just swipe the card as a debit, because we know the money is there. And we just continuously put in that every week. Every week we get paid, we just continuously put in it. So you won't have to worry about when the budget comes, well, we can't afford, you can't go Tommy, you can't go to the birthday party because you don't have money for it. But well, we already have that set aside. Just take out the little $10, $20 and then go. And then Christmas, I love Christmas. So the first year we did this, we did not have a Christmas sinking fund. And that got blown out the water. So we learned. I love Christmas and I love buying expensive gifts. So I know, I calculate like, okay, what I think they're gonna want, what I think I'm gonna want to buy, and divide it by how many paychecks, and divide it by 12 months, and then come up with the number to say, okay, in order for me to get like say it's $2,000. In order for me to get $2,000 by Christmas, I need to save like $50 a week or something like that. Yeah. So y'all math people don't quote me on that. I didn't do that math.
I was trying to work in my head and I was like, forget it. You're pretty close. I think that's 2,600. But look, you're good. You're good.
So that's what I do because I know that I like to spend money on Christmas. It's not a surprise. You know it's coming. And that's what we do. We do that all the time. We have separate different savings account and just put it in the lines in our budget so that when the time comes, we got the money.
Perfect. So you gave me a good rundown, and I'm pretty sure there's one more thing that you missed. Well, I missed was the envelope system because
you didn't mention it, but you ain't go on the question. I didn't mention cash.
I didn't ask you, but you need to say it because look, I did the envelope system for Valentine's Day this year, and it saved my life. Like I love my wife, but look. Once we started thing put down, like, oh my God, how do we spend so much so fast and we stop? So it worked. So how do you use your envelope system?
Or explain it to the people. But I have a budget binder, and it has those little plastic things on the inside that you just zip. And on the outside it says grocery, bill, whatever. We pay all our bills online. But when it comes to like grocery, gas, spending money, because we give ourselves spending money. So like a lot of people who know that I'm doing this are like, oh, well, you just bought the Adidas, that was $80. That was in my spending money, mind your business.
That's right. Somebody count the money.
I hate people count my money. So we have that. It's normally those three things unless we know something else is coming and we need it. It's normally those three things. So gas, food, spending money are normally the three things that we take cash out with. And then I break it down. So I actually have a TikTok video on this. So I write it down.
TikTok. Are we even friends, family, cousins, nothing like that? Like I even know you have a TikTok.
I don't know. I posted on. I do have a debt-free, Instagram. So I posted on that.
Please plug that, please, right now before I forget.
So Charlie Sky Coupons, and coupons is QPNS.
Okay. QPNS. You know you could have just spelled out coupons, but thank you anyway.
No, because somebody had the name. So anyway,
it was me.
I
got it. Okay, go ahead.
So so on we get paid Fridays. Thursdays I finalize the budget. That's when I write everything out, and to make sure Friday morning I make sure that everything comes out that was supposed to come out. And Thursday I also transfer all the funds over to savings account because it takes a day, and I hate waiting that 3-day weekend for it to come out on Monday. It's annoying. So I transfer all the savings. So Friday morning I wake up. I actually get excited about this. I'm weird. I wake up, make sure everything that was taken out correctly, and then I write down what I'm going to the bank for. Like say food is $150. I write out the $150, but then I write down the denominations that I need for that money, because I write down the denominations. I do, because it's much easier especially when it comes to divvying up the spending money between me and my husband and divvying up the gas money between me and my husband. Obviously, we all shop together, so I don't need to give that up. Yeah. So I write it on a little sticky note, go to the bank, take that cash out, and then I give them the sticky note, like, please and thank you. They give it back to me, and then I put in each envelope grocery, gas, all that. So even if household too. So even if I go to Walmart and go get groceries. I'm not putting my household and groceries on the same boat. You better believe I'm having two separate transactions because it's coming from two different envelopes. And that can get misconstrued because once you put it all together, you can be using some of your household money for the grocery money. Then you short. You should have got bananas, and now you got extra toilet tissue.
So you're very meticulous about how you put your money in the fund.
Put the money in. And it's a lot easier when you're spending money, especially when you're going out. And I also teach my girls, they have their own jars too. They have a spending jar, a saving jar, and a giving jar. They decide who they want to give it to. They donate and they buy things or whatever.
Yeah.
So Talia's about to get a bank account soon. She's at that age. But yeah, because when you spend with cash, that's it. There's no more. Because when your debit card, it's just $1 over. You can hear me?
Right. Yeah, I can hear you.
My AirPod died. Okay. So it's just $1 more. I got that in the account. Let me just swipe. Nah, with cash, you $1 more. The cashier gonna look at you like, you gotta put something back. So you're more cautious on how you spend when you spend with cash. And I will say there were times where I just didn't feel like going to get the cash. Budget is blown. You understand me? It's blown. Yep. I have to use the cash or else I will blow the budget.
So, to put it in context for people who was like, man, I don't even know what just happened. All right, pull out money out of your bank account. That's exactly for whatever you need, whether it's food for the month, or lunch. Let's start with lunch because that's how I put my money. Look, you will spend $5 to $10 every single day for lunch. That's $50. That's for a work week, $50. Put $50 in the envelope, and then watch how you spend that $50. So when you get down to Friday and you got $2 something in that account, you better hit the dollar menu. Sorry, that's it. Exactly. And that's how you gotta make it work. And that's how you remain disciplined. Because if not, you end up supersizing everything. You end up upsizing, adding a cookie, getting an extra drink.
Exactly.
Leave what you have in the envelope and live off of that, and that will end up saving you that money. And if you do that, you'll have more money to be able to invest in yourself and your future. And so my last question for you is, you told me you're meticulous, you put all this stuff down in the place to make sure your life is better. How have these principles positively affected your life?
It was better. It actually helped our marriage as far as when they communicate. A lot of people, money and marriage, it just don't go together.
The number one thing that breaks up a marriage is money.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people who, in the beginning, it was stressful. I knew we needed to budget, because I'm the money person. I'm the one who can write the budget and all that, and then we get together. Look, here's this, and this. And I knew we needed a budget because we was just spending money in negatives. Why are we making so much money and it's negative? And so it was stressed out our relationship, because he's not understanding, and then it's so it was tension high in the relationship. But once we got on one page with the money,
come on, one accord. I'm sorry, gotta be a preacher. Sorry.
Once we got on one page with the money, we communicated. It helped us communicate more. Instead of going to spend $100 on something with, hey babe, such and such happened. Do we have this in the budget, or can we move this around? We need this. It helped you communicate more, and it just eased tensions, because for a while money was an issue, but now it's not. So I guess I would have to say a positive impact on my marriage and our family, because I started to see that we were able to have, before COVID hit, we had a line in the budget that was for family fun. So every 2 weeks we will go out and do something. We'd be at the water parks, we'd be at Disney, we do things together, because now we have that money in the budget for it, and we wouldn't go over. And if the kids say, well, I want, how sometimes you go to the park and your kid want everything, and you just say no because you don't got it. Right. I don't get them everything, but I at least get them something. Right. Something there, because I budgeted for it.
Yeah.
I still go to the park with my own food because I'm still that cheap. But
that's right. That's good.
Pack my own food. No, we're not buying that.
No, that's right. Oh my gosh. Hold on. No, you did not tell me you bring your own food to the park.
I do. Okay. Do you know how much Disney costs? Disney's water is $5 a bottle. Okay.
I know. I've been there. I saw it. They hit me. They got me good.
That I know all the hacks around Disney. You go ask for free water, and they give you the free water with ice, and it's like this much water. It ain't this much water. It's this much water. So we get our water. We got our lunch. We bring our lunch in there. It's just, I tried to go to the park without bringing any food, and I was very disappointed. It's like $20 for this little meal. Nope. I bring my own food.
What you bringing in there? Are you bringing in a Moe's burrito? Are you bringing in?
You know what? I should the next time. So what I do is I get the whole loaf of bread, and I make sandwiches for everybody. I was next to SeaWorld, and they told me I couldn't bring in my sandwiches.
See, capitalism. See, it's all about the money. They ain't thinking about the family. They think about making the money. And so you just told us how to beat capitalism. Capitalism is whooping a lot of people's tail out here. But I'm telling you, this one, you saved us today. As Mr. Dave Ramsey says, Dave Ramsey says, Dave Ramsey says, to live like no one else, you got to live like no one else. And so, and you are living proof of that. So, once again, thank you, Todd, for sharing your wisdom, your infinite wisdom. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Just thank you for sharing that. You're going to help a lot of families with this information. And always remember, people, to pray first and to pray often.